Hello and a very warm welcome, bringing to you this Saturday's afternoon edition of YES101's Visual Radio. I'm Theruni Karunaratne. Let's start off with the news here at home. Now, 3 suspects, including the gunman in the murder of Surendra Wasantha Pereira, alias Club Wasantha, have been arrested. The arrests were made during an operation conducted in Kaudana, Dehivala by the Criminal Investigation Department and the Terrorist Investigation Division. Authorities have found a T-56 assault rifle with 120 rounds of ammunition and a stockpile of 9mm ammunition in the suspect's possession. Meanwhile, the Election Commission says the postal vote ballot papers for the presidential election will be delivered to the postal office on the 26th. Its chairman R.A.M.L. Ratnayakar says that the printing of postal ballot papers has reached its final stage. The postal vote of the presidential election is scheduled to be held on the 4th, 5th and 6th of September. The National Election Commission said that the government employees who are unable to vote by post on those days have been facilitated to use their votes in the district secretariat offices on the 11th and 12th of September. This year, 712,319 government employees are eligible for postal voting. Meanwhile, Senior Deputy Postmaster General Rajitha K. Ranasinghe said that special plans are in place for the safe transportation of postal ballot papers delivered to his department. On to more local news now. A special operation conducted by the Sri Lanka Navy led to the seizure of an Indian trawler poaching in Sri Lankan waters and the apprehension of 11 Indian fishermen. The operation was conducted off Point Pedro, Jaffna on the 23rd of August 2024. Northern Naval Command had spotted a cluster of Indian fishing trawlers engaging in illegal fishing in Sri Lankan waters. The operation resulted in the seizure of 1 Indian fishing trawler and the apprehension of 11 Indian fishermen who continued to remain in the Sri Lankan waters. The seized trawler, together with the 11 Indian fishermen, were brought to the Kankasanture harbour and they will be handed over to the Mailadi Fisheries Inspector for onward legal proceedings. Meanwhile, the Navy has seized a total of 45 Indian trawlers and 333 Indian fishermen poaching in Sri Lankan waters in 2024. Let's now take a look at international news.
International news.
About 5 million people in Bangladesh were stranded by floods in low-lying areas as strong currents washed away river embankments. The death count rose to 15 as at least 5 rivers in the South Asian nation faced the severest flooding since 2018, according to government data. 11 districts have been affected. The devastating floods are the latest setback for the country of 170 million people, recently besieged with deadly political protests and violence. An interim government led by Nobel Prize winner Muhammad Yunus took over after Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina resigned and fled the country earlier this month amid a student-led mass uprising. Up next is sports news.
Sports news.
A verdict expected in coming months on Manchester City's alleged breaches of Premier League's financial regulations will not affect the players' performance. Now, this according to manager Pep Guardiola. City were charged in February 2023 with 115 counts since their acquisition by City Football, which is owned by the Abu Dhabi United Group. The club could face penalties such as a points deduction or relegation if found guilty. Nottingham Forest and Everton were docked points last season for their breaches of the league's profit and sustainability rules. Well, that's a wrap of this edition of YES101's Visual Radio. I'm Theruni Karunaratne. Thank you for watching.